Hey guys, it's Carlos, the BJJ Physio. I'm here with my man Sid, who's going to help me out with some insights on Darce. I had a question about how to get a little bit deeper, how to sink that bottom far side arm in, and it really has to do with protraction of the shoulder and then the inability to get rotation. So let's get in the turtle position, sort of where Darce kind of winds up coming from. There's a million ways to get it, and I promise there are better people at teaching the Darce technique than me, but this is going to be useful if you're finding your shoulders not with enough room. So if I'm shallow, as in, if my shoulder blade's on this side of my body, I don't have a lot out here to capture that arm when I can get Sid in a bad spot. However, if I can take this shoulder and protract it, that's move my arm away from my body, but keep my body still and against him, I'm gonna gain a lot of range, a lot of mobility, and that tightens this up almost immediately. I know Sid can feel that, even though I'm not really put this on yet. Now, with this side, the issue becomes, if I have this grip, that's terrific, but if I can't get my arm around here, or my body enough to turn, it's hard to finish this and close it up. So, if you'll sit up for a second, we're going to show you two moves, both for this shoulder and both for this shoulder, that are going to assist in getting the length we need and the strength we need to keep this a strong position and so you can finish your Darce. Right. Okay, guys, so that deep arm, that arm that's got to penetrate so that you can grab your bicep is the one we're going to focus on now. And there are a couple different protraction moves and some variations I want to show. So Sid is going to get into like a tabletop position. This is the easiest version of this, all right? Notice, Sid's elbows are locked out. That is excellent. And now what he's going to do is push his chest away from the floor as far as possible, and then allow his chest and ribs to drop down below. So if you're seeing the top, his shoulder blades stayed nice and still, and his elbows stayed straight. Do two more like that. Up high as we can go, down as far as we can go. So that is exactly the same motion as is needed when you're trying to shoot that arm real deep for the Darce. Here's another variation. So he might go on his feet, like a push-up. Same thing. A little bit more resistance, but the movement doesn't change. Elbows are straight, and he's trying to lower and raise his body past his arms. Another difficult one, maybe a progression if you're really good at this, is one-handed. So you might widen his feet and keep his, so now one hand's on the ground, same idea. Sagging deep, pushing away, okay, and rest. Obviously, if his feet were closer together, if he's on one foot, if we put something heavy behind him, these are all ways to make this more difficult and really improve your ability to protract and get deep bites in that Darce. Okay, guys, the second part of this is improving the dynamic rotation ability of that shoulder that's got to get around the back to finish that Darce, right? So a great move, Sid's going to show us a setup here, will be in kind of a tabletop position, but needs to be off the ground. His hands are heavy. He's going to use this arm as the one we're going to focus. So he's going to come off the ground with these knees, and he's going to perform a little sit-through with this left leg. Noting length between his ear and shoulder, come back this way. Also, that his shoulder blade is attaching to his rib cage, real strong. Do another good one for me. Boom, nice and long here. Now, let's sag. Show me a bad version of that. Boom, the head is attached to the arm, is sagging in his way. Can you push back up again? Get length. Longer here, up, good, right there. That effort, come back down to neutral. In space, that's just like dynamically rotating his arm, but he's moving his body around a grounded arm instead of just his arm open chain. So anytime we can do that where our hands are down, it really makes this about our jiu-jitsu game and improving our mobility for finishing these kinds of movements, all right? So give that a shot if you're having a difficulty with that dynamic rotation and finish up that Darce. Go train. Os.